No, I am mostly a swing positional trader. Uh, but currently since the market has been in a downtrend, I have mostly I have mostly been playing intraday. Uh, yeah. Okay, is my screen visible, folks? Okay, I think I am also recording this. So welcome to the chat. This is like a very formal chat. I just wanted to discuss my own thoughts and also welcome anyone to share whatever you think the market or whatever and sort of. I actually went on to a big scanning today, and so a couple of interesting charts, and also not exactly charts. Mostly, I always try to share my way of thinking, logic, and whatever it is. So currently, I still feel that markets are on markets are on a downtrend, and where is this? Let's say Nifty 500. Yeah, so Nifty 500 is still, inside a descending channel. And I see two major regions of resistance. One is definitely the falling trend lines. So the falling trend line itself, as well as the falling key moving averages. So the first roadblock would be somewhere here, and it increasingly looks like that the market sentiment around the Maharashtra election will possibly take it up above this level, and then the more key level would be this. So the point is that so यहाँ से यहाँ तक थोड़ा सा there is a bounce, but the thing is, like, even if this bounce comes, we are not sure if that bounce will lead to that. Now uh, that is just the fact, right? And with that, because we all have individual strategies, individual holding time frame, some people are really quick to take use this kind of a bounce, but many people do not have that agility. So if you really want some more confirmation, one should probably see इस जगह पे आके how would the price action look like, and then such. But like very agile people can still get in. Now the next question then becomes is which are the strong sectors sort of in the market. Why is this unable to admit all, man? Okay, everyone is joined. So what I was saying, guys, is that in my view, we are like I always maintain the fact that as traders we have to confirm, and we always have to trade in the direction of the trend. So this to me is a downtrend, and so my overall view is still bearish, and these are the key levels. But having said that, there are still sectors and groups which are doing well. So the question then becomes, okay, how do we methodically go about looking which are the sectors? And so one very useful way is to basically look at hold on. So if you just look at like sectors, uh, basically indices, if you look at the momentum, the only two indices which are in positive momentum is CNXIT, and the second one is PSU Banks. Now PSU Banks, because it was already beaten down and has not moved up, whereas CNX is the only true place, and there are also certain sectors which have done well. So, for example, financial services, pharma, IT. The other more better way to look at which are the sectors which are doing well is directly go to the Tijori Finance website, and this is a freely available site. Okay, this is actually a no-brainer. So you go to niche, say equiweight, and just sort it using the time frame which you have. So 1 month and 3 months is which are what I like to see the strength. And currently, if I use sort them with 1 month, I can clearly see EMS, diagnostics, hospitals, rating agencies. There are only three or four names here. Pharma API, some hotels. These are the general, so this is the sort of top-down approach. You figure out which is the a group which has on an average done well. The other way to look at the other way to look at relative strength is just sort the entire list of stocks in their 50-day, 20-day performance, right? And so if you do that, you basically get a very nice list, which excuse me, here. So top 100 list. This is a list which I maintain, and basically here in what we have is the top 100 names which has done well in 50 and 20-day time frame, right? So most of the names in this list are strong. Okay. Now the second thing which you then look at, only strong is definitely not enough, right? Because strong 80% of the time could also mean that on a daily time frame it is extended for an entry. So if you would have entered GSW somewhere here, then like you would be in a slightly smaller loss. I mean, this is just an example. So if you then go one by one to see like which are the stocks which are now currently in a lower risk. Now lower risk in most cases means it has pulled back to the key moving average. Mostly in a raging bull market, that would be 10-20 moving average. And in current situations, I would like to think that moving average is the 50-day moving average. In many cases, in not many cases, in rare cases, there will be some names in which the price has pulled back to all three key moving averages. So, for example, Supriya Life Sciences somewhere around this time um, had pulled back to the price had pulled back to all the three key moving averages together. So this is also a very nice setup. So I have basically spent some time today, and I'm mostly focused on two. I mean, I go through the top 100 list every day, but today I went through the mid small 400 as well as the micro cap 200 list, and I just, like a very big group of 80 to 90 stocks, and these are the names which I really like. So Amber sort of broke out day before, I mean Thursday, and this is also from a very strong group. And this is from the EMS group, I guess. Uh, Azad I like. It is not exactly a swing setup, but it is mostly more likely more so a positional setup. Now there is a big prior uptrend, and this, in my opinion, is base, like the bottom of a bigger base. Currently, we had some sort of earnings gap, if I'm not mistaken. There's a huge gap up, and price is now very nicely sustaining, and all three key EMAs are coming to support. Bear in mind, I am no fundamental guy, so uh, although I follow a couple of fundamental people just to know their opinions on which stocks are good. So at some point of time, Azad Engineering was a very talked about stock. So this is currently, in my opinion, in a very low risk area. And again, to enter in general, I like to have a trigger. So my entry triggers are mostly when price moves above a level, and that level generally in technical analysis traders call that a pivot, which is a pivotal level. Pivotal means like Arya par, like it's like that's the meaning of the word. So in my opinion, that level is this, and this also gives you a tight area below which you can place your stop losses, which will give you a very small stop. Now Shakti Pump is another one which I like, and you can see that why I like this. I mean, if you look at a weekly chart, I mean, even not in weekly, daily पे भी ये दिख जाएगा. It's such a big base, and yeah, so this is like a T1, T2, and At some point of time I used to be very critical about stocks which move in 5% stocks because all most of my early learnings have has come from Twitter, you know, like, and 80 to 90% of people on Twitter, people, by people I mean are who are the content creators, and they are very critical about 5% stop movers. I in due course of time have uh, come to an understanding that 5% is not a problem. So I'm also very keen on this. It's a big base, and the palms and I think the water theme is, in my opinion, still hot. And my biggest learning in this last 1.5 years of bull market has been, uh, whatever you choose stocks which are a part of themes, uh, because sectors groups, they can come uh, in favor and out of favor of the market, but themes tend to run a little longer, is my opinion right now. Pharma, on in terms of index, does not look too good. Like 1 month earlier, they were one of the strongest index along with IT. Currently, on an index level, they are not good, but on individual level, there are a lot of pharma stocks which are really good. So Kaplan Point is one such stock. In my opinion, it's also like now forming BCP characteristics. Now, in general, Mark Minervini's entry system is when the VCP is actually broken out, right? That's the by the book entry, and that entry would be above this. But currently, again, it's cocked at around all the three key moving averages, and there is also a slight this small. I mean, this is something else, but currently, again, like, this bounce from this key, all three key moving average levels are also a very nice. So care ratings, this is another one of the stock out of the couple of 3 4 stocks which are in the rating agencies, and care is like one the smaller company, and currently I believe like it is at a very good support. So if you see, if you draw an imaginary line touching these pivots, lower pivots, this day, which is Friday, last Friday, could be a potential early entry, which basically tells you that it's still at an area where an entry, a very good low risk entry is possible. Uh, Dixon is from the EMS space. For a long period of time, I had this bias, and I still have this bias. This is a beginner level bias, and the bias is basically, you see the chart, and then you see, अरे 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 डिक्सन तो इतना भाग गया है, और कितना भागेगा. And currently the stock right now is Dixon, but in general also this applies to everything. uh, but if you are a trader who is not afraid to take a small loss, this itna bhag chuka hai probably should not be a reason to not get into a stock. And I know that this learning can be very tough. You read it everywhere in the book, but actually implementing is the tougher part. So this has been a constant reminder to self, and I'm not saying that I don't have that bias right now, but hopefully that will go away. So DOMS Industries is another name which looks good, and this is also like a base, possibly three contractions right now, and this would be a good breakout. And in general, I am very wary of buying any breakouts, especially in this environment when I buy. But this also is at a very a level which is very close to the sort of a PBA PBC pullback kind of a buy space. So if there is another tight area here, that's really good. Another one, Natco Pharma. Now this is below all key moving averages. So this is not exactly like a swing जो flag type. Generally, most setups on for a swing trader is some form of flag, whereas this is not. Okay, but this is, again, it's a weekly flag, right? um, This is a weekly flag. It also comes from a very strong sector. And I am keen to trade this as a reversal. So you can also see like an inverse head and shoulder kind of a base forming. So this is not ready yet, but definitely one in the radar. The other name, which is again from, I don't know if this is similar or not, Zydus Wellness. यहाँ पे तो food लिखा हुआ है. But again, the structure is very similar. And one thing I would like to point out here is that here there are a lot of red looking volumes, but this is and as a beginner, because I was also a beginner some time back, as a beginner ये volume देख के हम लोग डर जाते हैं, like अरे अरे इतना बड़ा बड़ा लंबा लंबा volume, but this is actually 80% of the volume is actually accumulatory volumes. How you have to read that is, let me bring something. So if you see here, if you see the volumes here, you can see that highest volumes in a quarter 4, and this is also very high volume, है ना? So in this volume you can see how the price reacted. So such a high volume, but the price actually moved from the low of the day and close to about 70 80% of the day. So this was actually a volume which wherein like accumulation happened. So if you see this was also a bullish volume. So although these are like big red volumes, I mean this is not a red volume, but this one's a red. And here also यहाँ पे with such a huge volume, the price did not fall. This one is slightly the price is like slightly not bullish, but after that the reaction of the price has not been bearish as well. So you have to be a little not so straightforward. Like you have to deep dive a little bit on how the volumes are, not just go with the color of the volume. Okay, so in my opinion, Zydus Wellness is a setup which is a good positional setup if given we get an entry. Okay, and that's a reversal entry here. There are other names which are good for like swing trading, and again Gillette is again see there are only two things which I look at. One is I try to look at like on the chart, it's two things, which is strong, low risk, and Gillette gives you both right now. The other thing I'm trying to inculcate, like I also mentioned, is themes. And going forward, my positional account will have every name should have the theme thing, which is probably will take some time, but I'm trying my best. And Gillette is again like it's a PBC setup right now. The entry would probably come above this candle, and that would also take it above all the key moving averages. HCL Tech is another one from a very strong group, strong sector. This is possibly an entry day. You also have to see how the how the overall structure of the price action looks like, and it sort of looks like in a very timid ascending channel. So one way to reason it is like since September to right now, when the Nifty has gone down minus 15%. Okay, it's actually gone down minus 15% because if you see Nifty has gone down how much, like possibly 10 11, but if you see Nifty equal, which is like equi-weighted, है ना? So if you had put equal amounts of money in all the 50 Nifty companies, you would have lost minus 14%. So this when the Nifty equi-weight companies has given back 14% to the market, HCL Tech has actually gained some, right? So this is basically relative strength, um, and the hope is that when market conditions turns better, these are the companies which will shoot up. That's a tennis, not tennis ball action. Yeah, I digress. Anyways, Infi is also strong, but not as strong as HCL. Ipca Lab. Again, you see this is the setup basically. There is a huge uptrend, and then there is a basing structure. Currently, I believe this is the bottom of the base. Now this base will take time to finish, and that could look like directly a saucer, a cup and handle, or it could also go on to be a long big base with VCP characteristics. But whatever be the case, currently it's at a low risk entry, and uh, even better if the earnings had been good. So I'm not sure how, I don't know how to read that, but generally ये green रहता है, तो I'm mostly happy with that. Same with ICICI Securities as well. It's a prior uptrend. There seems to be VCP characteristics. Kalyan Jewelers is another one which I'm like really interested in. If you see, it's a weekly flag, and on daily right now it's sort of forming like a sideways basing action at around key moving averages, right? So you put an alarm bell there, and hopefully catch it when it moves. 63 moons is another name which is really good, and this I was discussing sometime here also. I also discussed in the group. So this was an entry, and right now the other entry would be whenever this guy breaks out, and one can also anticipate, but right now I'm very wary of anticipation because things can go south. Swan Energy is another name. This is not a typical swing setup, but if you see this on a weekly chart, um, this threatened to be a double top kind of a structure, but around the neckline, huge volumes came in and drove the price. Okay, so that's a very positive sign. And after a tightness of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know how many, 6 to 7, 8 sessions, we had a really nice candle here. I so this is the kind of setup which I, if I would have seen this on Friday, I would have probably be very inclined to take a position with a time frame of like with a positional bias. Okay, yeah. So this is something. Um, Logistics, Ritco Logistics also is a like very nice base. The hospital sector and the diagnostic sectors are really doing well. Kim's was an entry, either on this day or on this day. Um, Suven Pharma. So I have been talking about this stock purely because the strength of the stock during the fall of the market has been extremely good, right? So there has to be something why there is so much demand for this stock when the general market has been falling. So this is another one. Now Medanta is a very interesting, similar to some of the reversals setup I discussed. Again, this is also from health, hospital, I think hospital and those. And since they are also hot, that is one primary reason. The weekly chart looks better here. One thing I'll give you is that it is below the 2200 DMA, but it just got above the all key moving averages, which I like to look at in for my swing trades. So this is one sort of a reversal kind of a trade which I'm interested in, and the earnings also looks good. So again, I probably mentioned this again. Not a fundamental guy. Don't know how to read earnings, but looks like it beat some expectations, right? So again, this can be an entry trigger, albeit it did not close above this, and once it closes above that, that is a good positional entry in my opinion. Similarly, Marks and Pharma, again from Pharma, this is a good base, and possibly the handle is now getting ready. PGEL, another one from a very strong group. Cup, the handle, and basically 1T, 2T, and this is the third T. So if there is like a 4 to 5% candle here, and if you get an early entry, it closes top of the candle, that could be something you can carry. Piramal Pharma, this is again another very strong name. And the best thing is this provides you a very strong low risk entry. So imagine, like, if one gets a entry somewhere above 255 6 7 8, um, the I mean, this looks -5. -5 is slightly higher, but I'm sure if you go to a 25-minute time frame or so, you'll possibly get a better risk. So if if there is a GTT order around here, it gets your fill around 255. Um, like 3% is a decent enough. This one, no. So this is also another one which I'm very keen to see. ITI, now ITI is a big base, and very interested in this, partially because of how the volumes on this pole looks like. And this this pullback to the key moving average, all three moving averages are now uh, uh, yeah, just like Supriya. Again, Supriya was not exactly this, but this all three key moving averages supporting the price is a very nice low risk area. Okay, again, will not work every time, but that's just how betting goes. GVTD, the name slightly changed, but it's also sort of like this is a flat base, but with a slightly ascending slope. And so previously I used to not like this kind of setups, but in due course of time I got to know that this is also this actually means bullishness. Yeah, there are a lot of other stocks also in the list, but these were a few names which I am sort of interested in. I'll stop right here. That's all I have for you guys. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Okay. Anyone has a question? If not, we can we can say goodbye. All right, folks. Have a good day. And Ruben Amorin's Red and White Army. Let's go.